Okay, so we'll continue our discussion today. But before we get into Gajendra Moksha Leela Katha, I wanted to touch upon one of the pending tasks that I have. I remember I told a few days ago that I was going to tell about why Lord Krishna wears peacock feather. Okay, if you see Lord Krishna's picture, right? I think one day somebody asked, looking at this picture, this painting here, either Shamala or somebody asked that it looks so beautiful, and why does Lord Krishna wear peacock? So I thought I will share for a few minutes. So let's understand why Lord Krishna wears peacock feather in his turban, in his pagadi, or whenever he is wearing crown also, he puts on a peacock feather. There are multiple reasons why Lord Krishna wears peacock feather. So the description of Krishna wearing peacock feather is given in multiple places. It's given in Bhagavatam, quite a few shlokas in Bhagavatam, and the most famous Sri Krishna Ashtakam. So there are so many places where this is mentioned. In Sri Krishna Ashtakam, Adi Shankaracharya says, Mandara Gandha Samyuktam Charuhasam Chaturbhujam Barhi Pinchavachudangam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. So Mandara Gandha Samyuktam Charuhasam Chaturbhujam. Mandara Gandha Samyuktam. That means Krishna's body is full of fragrance from Mandara flowers. The English word for Mandara is coral leaf flowers. Hibiscus. The biology name is hibiscus. I remember from my biology days in college. Mandara Gandha Samyuktam Charuhasam Chaturbhujam. He has a Chaturbhuja form and he has a beautiful smile. Charuhasam. Barhi Pinchava Chodangam. Barhi Pinchava Chodangam. Barhi means peacock. Pincha is a feather. Barhi Pincha, peacock feather, Chodangam. So this is Chodangam means like Chudamani. We must have heard about the word Chudamani, right? Chudamani means crest jewel. Mani means jewel. Chudamani means crest jewel. Chodangam means Angam means the limb of the body. Chodangam means the most important limb of the body. What is the most important limb of the body? That is head. So Barhi Pinchava Chodangam. That means he wears peacock feather in his head, inside the turban, inside the crown, pagadi, like that. Barhi Pinchava Chodangam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. There is another shloka from. So let's repeat this, okay? I'll sing this one line and you repeat after me. Mandara Gandha Samyuktam
Mandara
Gandha Samyuktam
Charuhasam Chaturbhujam
Charuhasam Chaturbhujam
Barhi Pinchava Chodangam
Barhi Pinchanga Chudangam
Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum.
Krishnam Vande
Jagadguru.
Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Krishnam
Krishnam
Vande
Vande
Jagadgurum.
Jagadgurum.
Krishnam Vande Jagadguru.
Jagadgurum.
Krishnam
Krishnam
Vande
Vande
Jagadguru.
Jagadgurum.
So that's the beautiful shloka from Shri Krishna
Krishna.
Ashtakam. And then in Bhagavatam, there is another place where Brahma, not Brahma, Shuka Mahamuni, when he is giving the introduction description, when Krishna enters Vrindavan, Shuka Mahamuni describes that introduction scene. Just like in the movies, when a hero enters, there is a grand elevation, and it's an eye feast to the fans, right? So like that, Shuka Mahamuni gives a beautiful description introducing Krishna, our hero, when he is entering into Vrindavan. Barha natavaravu karnayor karnikaram बिभ्रद्भासः कनककपीशं वैजयन्तीं च मालाम् रन्ध्रान् वेणुरधरसुधया पूरयन् गोपवृन्दै वृन्दारण्यं स्वपदरमणं प्राविशद्गीतकीर्तिः. So in the very first line itself, this peacock feather is there. Barha Pidam. Baraha Pidam. That means he is wearing a peacock feather. The Sanskrit word apidam. Apidam means always wearing. Baraha Pidam. He is wearing peacock feather. Natavara Vapu. Natavara Vapu. Vapu means the body. How is Krishna's body? It is like the best dancer. Natavara. Nata means an actor, a dancer. Natavara means the best of the actors, the best of the dancers. So whenever you see Krishna's deity in any temple, right, it's in a Tribhanga form. Krishna's body is bent in three places. So holding the flute, he bends his neck, and then there is a bend on his waist. That's the second bend. There is a bend at his feet. So three bends, Tribhanga Rupam. Shyamam Tribhanga Lalitam Niyata. So the Brahma Samhita, Brahma glorifies this. Shyamam Tribhanga Lalitam. So Barha Pidam Natavara Vapu. So here also Shukdev Goswami mentions this peacock feather. Okay, these are the references where Krishna is wearing peacock feather. There are many like this, but these are just two. Now let's understand why Krishna wears peacock feather. There are multiple reasons. Let us discuss few of them. One reason is this originates from previous Yuga, Treta Yuga, from Ramavatara. One day when Ramachandra was in forest along with Sita Devi and Lakshmana Swami, Ramachandra was feeling very thirsty, and then he wanted to find some water. Then Lakshmana Swami looks around for water, but he was not finding any water. Then there is a peacock. The peacock understood what our Swami wants. The peacock came to the lotus feet of Ramachandra and said, oh my Lord, I can help you find the water. I can show you where you can drink water. You just follow me. And it's a forest. So Ramchandra Swami asks, so how do I follow you? How do I keep track of your path? Then our peacock says, don't worry, as I am walking along in the forest, I will leave one of my peacock feathers, one feather at a time. I'll keep on leaving, and I'll make a track. You can just follow the track. Ramchandra Swami said, yes, that looks like a plan. And then the peacock started walking around, and because the animals, they don't walk in a straight line, right? So they walk here and there in a jigsaw path. So peacock was walking, and then peacock was walking, leaving peacock feathers one at a time. And then finally, the peacock reached this small jalashaya where water is found. And Ramchandra Swami was very happy to see this jalashaya, and he drank the water. And immediately after that, the peacock died. The peacock actually collapsed. First, the peacock collapsed, about to leave the body. Okay, so the peacock was in his last breath. So peacock collapsed and about to leave the body. And looking at this, Ramchandra Swami was shocked. He said, "What happened?" And then the peacock said, when a peacock sheds these peacock feathers naturally during a season, during autumn season, the peacock sheds feathers. So if the peacock sheds the feathers naturally, then it is fine. But now I wanted to render some service to you. I wanted to help you drink the water, and I wanted to make sure that you are not losing the path. That's why I kept on shedding the feathers. That's why I cannot leave anymore. Saying this, the peacock died. Now, looking at the sacrifice, great sacrifice of peacock, Ramchandra Swami, his heart was melted. And then he told, he made a promise to the peacock. The peacock died, but he made a promise to the peacock that in his next avatar, as Krishna avatar, he is always going to wear peacock feather. So, to show gratitude to this great service of peacock, the seva rendered to Ramchandra Swami, in the next avatar, Krishna always wore peacock. He could have, Ramchandra Swami, he could have decorated his turban or crown in Ramavatara itself with a peacock feather, right? But, he was in the forest. He was in the exile, he was in the forest, no pagadi, no crown. He was not sure whether he will go back to the Ayodhya, he will be able to rule the kingdom or not. So based on his current condition, he was having matted locks of hair, long hair, and then there was a, like a bun, right? And that's what we see in the movies. I don't know how it was exactly like that, but based on what we see in the movies, there's a bun in the middle on the top of his head. So there is no scope for wearing peacock feather. That's why Ramchandra Swami promised that he will wear peacock feather in his next avatara. So this is one story. And coming back to Krishna avatara. In Krishna, after taking avatar as Krishna, from day one, if he starts wearing peacock feather, it doesn't look right. So there has to be an incident, right? There has to be an incident that will bring peacock feather into picture. So one day, the Gopa boys, Krishna, everybody, they took all the cows for grazing into the fields. And the cows were dispersed into different places for grazing. And Krishna, Balaram, and all the Gopa boys, they had some fun. They ate a nice lunch. and then they took a nap. And then after some time, Krishna woke up from the nap, and then it was evening time. It was time to go home. So Krishna wanted to call all the cows. This is his daily routine. Every day evening, when he wants to bring all the cows together and take them back home, he would play the flute. He would, with that flute sound only, he would call out to different groups of cows. And the Maharaj had 9 lakh, I think 9 lakh cows. 9 lakh or 99 lakh cows. So Krishna grouped them based on the features, the similarity of features. Okay, if the face of the cow is looking like a baby, then all the cows whose face looks very gentle, very tender, like a baby, he grouped that name as Komali. So like that, Krishna named different groups of cows, and with his flute sound, he would call out to these different groups, and they will come. So as he was playing this flute sound, and Krishna was playing flute sound with a very deep with a very deep bass. If you know the music terminology, bass voice means there is some gambhiryata. It's not very soft, but it's deep. So Krishna played flute with deep bass, and as soon as Krishna started playing this flute music that day, some peacocks they happened to be around, and as soon as they heard this music, they felt great ecstasy, and they came to Krishna and they started dancing. And we know, Ramesh is saying fifth note. Yeah, fifth note, the Panchama Swara. No, Panchama Swara Krishna uses for special purpose to call gopis and especially Radharani. So in the Zoom message, Ramesh Garu sent a message. Can we call it as fifth note? Fifth note is Panchama Swara. But Krishna reserves that Panchama Swara. It's a special swara. When he wants to call gopis and especially Radharani, he plays the music, he plays flute in Panchama Swara. So anyways, coming back to the peacocks started dancing in ecstasy. And looking at the ecstasy of peacocks and the way they were dancing, and peacocks are well known for their dance, right? They are well known for their beautiful peacock feathers and dance. Anybody wants to compare any person, any girl, to give an appreciation or to give an accolade, saying that you are a best dancer, the best metaphor to compare is Mayura, peacock. They say, oh, you're dancing like a peacock. So peacock is the best. Peacock does the best dance compared to any other animal or even human beings, right? So looking at the ecstasy of these peacocks, Krishna increased, his flute music, the intensity and different ragas, different notes, different melody, different tunes. Krishna continued playing. Krishna forgot about the cows and now focusing on peacocks. So, and then the king of the peacocks, the leader of the group of the peacocks, came to the lotus feet of Krishna, and in his language, which Krishna can understand, the peacock requested Krishna also to come to join them and dance. Then Krishna also danced. And when Krishna is Natavara, he's the best dancer. He can dance even better than peacocks. Now, when Krishna was dancing, all the peacocks, they were mesmerized, they were astonished. This is the first time they are seeing Krishna dancing. Probably before this, they might have heard about Krishna's dancing, but this is the first time they saw Krishna dancing personally. And they were so astonished. Until now, they were thinking they are the best dancers. But here, Natavara is dancing in a great way. So, like that, this dance continued for several days. And then, very soon, the peacocks got tired. They are mortal beings. They cannot dance for a longer time. So they got tired and they stopped. And then, but Krishna continued dancing. Krishna kept on dancing. And finally, Krishna toned down his flute. Now looking at the ecstasy of the peacocks, looking at the ecstasy of Krishna, the flute started playing music by itself, even without Krishna playing. So here you can see both flute and peacock. In this painting on my wall here, you can see both flute and peacock. So that the flute was hanging in the air and the flute was playing music by itself. Krishna was not holding the flute anymore. With his two hands, two arms and two legs, he was dancing to the best. And then looking at all this and all the peacocks they were just standing because they were tired, right? They were standing and looking at this marvel of Krishna's dancing. And finally, Krishna toned down the flute music and he also stopped dancing. Now, the king of the peacocks, he came to the lotus feet of Krishna and he offered, he offered a few peacock feathers as a guru dakshina, as a token of gratitude, token of appreciation to Krishna. And Krishna said, I really appreciate, I really like the way you all danced when I was playing flute. So for their dancing, Krishna promised them that I will always wear this peacock feather in my crown. So from that day onwards, Krishna started wearing peacock feather. So this is another beautiful story that shows how or why Krishna wears peacock feather. So there is another story. This has to do with Krishna playing with his Gopa boys. One day, Krishna was playing hide and seek with his Gopa boys, friends. And Krishna was hiding behind a tree. And the Gopa boy friend, one of the friend, he was trying to find everybody, including Krishna. And Krishna's complexion is such that Krishna's bodily complexion is such that it is mega shamala. The bodily complexion is described using the word mega shamala. Where we saw that in Mukundamala Stotra. Mega shamala. A dark cloud. Okay, the complexion of a dark cloud. So looking at Krishna's body, there were some peacocks around. The peacocks thought it's a cloud. It's a dark cloud. That means it's going to rain very soon. So they started dancing. They started dancing, making some sound. And hearing this, the Gopabai friend who was seeking everybody, he knew where Krishna is. And he immediately came to the place where peacocks were dancing, making this sound, and then he immediately caught hold of Krishna. And then, Krishna looking at the dancing of peacocks, he also danced. So from that day onwards, Krishna started wearing peacock feather. So there are multiple stories that are told. Another one and final one. This is the final one. Why Krishna wears peacock feather? As I just described, Krishna's bodily complexion is that of a cloud. And he always wears pitambaram. So the whole body, it almost looks like a cloud which is going to rain, and the pitambaram, which is yellow and glittering and shining, it almost looks like lightning. When it was about to rain, sometimes you'll see lightning in the sky. You'll see lightning, and then immediately there'll be rain. So we have a cloud, we have lightning. What is missing here? Of course, it is assumed that there is rain. When there is a cloud, it is assumed that there is rain.
Rainbow.
Rainbow, yes. Rainbow. So that rainbow is this peacock. Rainbow means it's full of multiple colors. So to decorate Krishna's body, which is a beautiful cloud, Megha Shamala, wearing pitambaram, to complete this whole description, this whole beauty of Krishna's body, a rainbow is added. The peacock feather is added. Okay, so this is another. A peacock gives actually. Looking at the beauty of Krishna's bodily complexion with glittering pitambaram, a peacock thinks in his mind that I think a peacock feather will complete this whole beauty. And Krishna takes that and decorates his head as a rainbow. So this is another one. Okay, so next time whenever you see peacocks and all these things, you can meditate on this story.
Our canvas is smiling and feeling very great. Today is my day. All are listening my story silently. We both are smiling, feather and flute.
Yeah, there is Pitambaram also, right? There is a
Yeah,
Pitambaram, yellow,
yeah.
there is a flute, there is a peacock.
Yeah. Finally, our day came like that. They are seeing.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Bibrat Vasa Kanaka Kapisham. In that shloka, Barhapidam Natavara Vapu Karnayor Karnikaram Bibrat Vasa Kanaka Kapisham. Bibrat. Bibrat means lightening. Bibrat Vasa. Vasa means like vastram, cloth. Bibrat Vasa, lightening, shining vastram. Kanaka Kapisham. Kapisham means silk. Kanaka means golden. It's a golden color and it's glittering, shining. It's made of silk. Bibrat Vasa Kanaka Kapisham and wearing Vaijayantincha Mala. So let's connect our Vaijayanti Mala back to the description that Lord Hari gives in Shloka 24, where he says, whoever remembers my Vaijayanti Mala, they get free from sinful reactions. They get promoted to higher planetary system, Svargaloka. Vaijayanti Mala. If we remember Krishna's Vaijayanti Mala, Krishna's gift for us is we will get promoted to Svargaloka. But if we remember Gajamala, we get an eternal position in spiritual world. So usually Vaijayanti Mala is the topmost thing. That's the topmost garland. It's a very famous topmost garland. But Krishna has put Vaijayanti Mala aside. He has downgraded, or he maintained a low profile for his Vaijayanti Mala. And he has elevated Gajamala. What is Gajamala here?
Gajendra gave that flower.
Gajendra Stuti.
Gajendra Stuti. Not just the flower, but Gajendra Stuti. Gajendra Stuti is nothing but it's a
Gajamala.
mala, it's a Gajamala. It's a garland of shlokas, garland of prayers, like Mukunda Mala, Gajamala. Gaja means elephant, enugu. Okay, a garland, a mala prepared by Gaja, elephant. Garland prepared by an elephant. And the flowers in that garland are the prayers, the intense prayers, the shlokas. This Gajendra Stuti is the king of the Stutis. Gajendra, he's the king, right? He's the king of elephants. And the Stuti recited by him as an intense prayer calling out to Sri Hari. This is the king of the stotrams, king of the Stutis. And the king, where does the king sit?
Simhasana.
Simhasanam, golden Simhasanam, Kanaka Simhasanam. And Krishna made that. Krishna put that Gajamala on, Krishna put that king on a Simhasanam, golden Simhasanam. By keeping Gajamala, or the glorification of Gajamala, or the king of this Stuti, Gajendra Stuti, in a separate shloka, 25th shloka. Okay, so with that little description, let's read chapter 2. Okay. So Shamala, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. Chapter 2 from 8th canto, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, canto 8, chapter 2. The elephant Gajendra's crisis. So in this chapter, the beautiful description of the Tirtha Sthali, where Gajendra Moksha Leela happened, and how Gajendra encountered this crisis. Okay, yeah.
Hare Krishna. Sukadev Goswami said, "My dear king, there is a very large mountain called Trikuta. It is 10,000 yojanas, 80,000 miles high. Being surrounded by the ocean of milk, it is very beautifully situated. The length and breadth of the mountain are of the same measurement, 80,000 miles. Its three principal peaks, which are made of iron, silver, and gold, beautify all directions and the sky. The mountain also has other peaks which are full of jewels and minerals and are decorated with nice trees, creepers, and shrubs. The sound of the waterfalls on the mountain create a pleasing vibration. In this way, the mountain stands, increasing the beauty of all directions. The ground at the foot of the mountain is always washed by waves of milk that produce emeralds all around in the eight directions, north, south, east, west, and the directions midway between them. The inhabitants of the higher planets, the Siddhas, Charanas, Gandharvas, Vidyadharas, serpents, Kinnaras, and Apsaras, go to that mountain to sport. Thus, all the caves of the mountain are full of these denizens of the heavenly planets. Because of the resounding vibrations of the denizens of heaven singing in the caves, the lions there, being very proud of their strength, roar with unbearably envy, thinking that another lion is roaring in that way. The valleys beneath Trikuta mountain are beautifully decorated by many varieties of jungle animals, and in the trees, which are maintained in gardens by the demigods, varieties of birds creep with sweet voices. Trikuta mountain has many lakes and rivers, which beaches covered by small gems resembling grains of sand. The water is as clear as crystal, and when the demigod themselves bathe in it, their bodies lend fragrance to the water and the breeze, thus enriching the atmosphere. In a valley of Trikuta mountain, there was a garden called Rutmat. This garden belonged to the great devotee Varuna and was a sporting place for the damsels of the demigods. Flowers and fruits grew there in all seasons. Among them were mandaras, parijatas, patalas, asokas, champakas, shutas, pialas, panasas, mangoes, amratakas, kramukas, coconut trees, date trees, and pomegranates. There were mudukas, palm trees, tamalas, asanas, arjunas, aristas, udumbaras, plaksas, banyan trees, kimsukas, and sandalwood trees. There were also pinkumardas, pikumadas, kovidaras, saralas, sura, darus, grapes, sugarcane, bananas, jambu, badaris, akshas, abhayas, and amalakis. In the garden, there was a very large lake filled with shining golden lotus flowers, and the flowers known as kumuda, kala, kalara, utpala, and satapatra, which added excellent beauty to the mountain. There were also bilva, kapita, jambira, and balataka trees. Intoxicated bumblebees drank honey and hummed with the chirping of the birds, whose songs were very melodious. The lake was crowded with swans, karana, karan, karandavas, chakravakas, cranes, and flocks of water chickens, datyuhas, koyastis, and other murmuring birds. Because of the agitating movements of the fish and tortoises, the water was decorated with pollen that had fallen from the lotus flowers. The lake was surrounded by kadamba flowers, vetasa flowers, nalas, nipas, vanjulakas, kundas, kurubakas, asokas, sirisas, kutajas, ingudas, kubjakas, swarna yutis, nagas, punnagas, jatis, mallikas, satapatras, jalakas, and madhavi-latas. The banks were also abundantly adorned with varieties of trees that yielded flowers and fruits in all seasons. Thus the entire mountain stood gloriously decorated. The leader of the elephants, who lived in the forest of the mountain Trikuta, once wandered toward the lake with his female elephants. He broke many plants, creepers, thickets, and trees, not caring for their piercing thorns. Simply by catching scent of that elephant, all the other elephants, the tigers, and the other ferocious animals such as lions, rhinoceros, great serpents, and black and white sarabas fled in fear. The, the Kamari deer also fled. By the mercy of this elephant, animals like the foxes, wolves, buffaloes, bears, boars, gopuchas, porcupines, monkeys, rabbits, the other deer, and many other small animals slaughtered elsewhere in the forest. They were not afraid of him. Surrounded by the herd other elephants, including females, and followed by the young ones, Gajapati, the leader of the elephants, made Trikuta mountain tremble all around because of the weight of his body. He was perspiring, liquor dripped from his mouth, and his vision was overwhelmed by intoxication. He was being served by bumblebees who drank honey, and from a distance he could smell the dust of the lotus flowers, which was carried from the lake by the breeze. Thus, surrounded by his associates who were afflicted by thirst, he soon arrived at the bank of the lake. The king of the elephants entered the lake, bathed thoroughly, and was relieved of his fatigue. Then, with the aid of his trunk, he drank the cold, clear nectarian water, which was mixed with the dust of lotus flowers and water lilies, until he was fully satisfied. Like a human being who lacks spiritual knowledge and is too attached to the members of his family, the elephant being illusioned by the eternal energy of Krishna had his wives and children bathe and drink the water. Indeed, he raised water from the lake with his trunk, and sprayed it over them. He did not mind the hard labor involved in this endeavor. By the arrangement of Providence, O king, a strong crocodile was angry at the elephant and attacked the elephant's leg in the water. The elephant was certainly strong, and he tried his best to get free from the danger sent by Providence. Thereafter, seeing Gajendra in the grave condition, his wives felt very, very sorry and began to cry. The other elephants wanted to help Gajendra, but because of the crocodile's great strength, they could not rescue him by grasping him from behind. O king, the elephant and the crocodile fought in this way, pulling one another in and out of the water for 1,000 years. Upon seeing this fight, the demigods were very surprised. Thereafter, because of being pulled into the water and fighting for many long years, the elephant became diminished in his mental, physical, and sensual strength. The crocodile, on the contrary, being an animal of the water, increased in enthusiasm, physical strength, and sensual power. When the king of the elephants saw that he was under the clutches of the crocodile by the will of providence, and being embodied and circumstantially helpless, could not save himself from danger. He was extremely afraid of being killed. He consequently thought for a long time and finally reached the following decision. The other elephants, who are many friends and relatives, could not rescue me from this danger. What then to speak of my wives? They cannot do anything. It is by the will of Providence that I have been attacked by the crocodile, and therefore I shall seek shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is always the shelter of everyone, even of great personalities. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is certainly not known to everyone, but he is very powerful and influential. Therefore, although the serpent of eternal time, which is fearful in force, endlessly chases everyone, ready to swallow him, if one who fears their serpent seeks shelter of the Lord gives him protection, for every death runs away in fear of the Lord. I therefore surrender unto him, the great and powerful supreme authority, who is the actual shelter of everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Okay, so that was second chapter, which describes the beautiful place, Trikuta Parvat, the Rutmat garden, the lake, the gardens, the flowers, different animals there, and so on. Um, so it's 9:30. I know we wanted to read chapter 3 and chapter 4 description also. But I think this is what we can do. So today we'll have some discussion, philosophical discussion, and then maybe tomorrow we can read chapter 3, translation of all Gajendra Stuti shlokas, and then chapter 4 also, and then we will end this entire series of Gajendra Moksha Leela Katha, Gajendra Stuti. So tomorrow is Wednesday. That's the good day to to bring it to an end. So so some discussion for today. Um, so we have discussed, I think on Friday or Thursday, when we were reading the purport from 4th chapter, 10th and 11th shlokas, where in the purport, Prabhupada explains that how in the previous life, as Indradumna Maharaj, how he took the curse of Agastya Muni as a blessing. And that is how the devotees always look at things in life. Whenever there is a difficulty, they consider it as a blessing of the Lord. The other day I mentioned Parikshit Maharaj, when he was cursed by the rishi, the son of the rishi, to die in 7 days. Parikshit Maharaj was thinking that Krishna has personally came in the form of that shapam. Krishna personally came in the form of that shapam. Nija Rupa Shapam, Dvija Rupa Shapam. He says, Parikshit Maharaj says, Dvija Rupa Shapam. So So there's a beautiful shloka from Padma Purana that says, Mahavipattau samsare yasmaret madhusudanam vipaltau tasya sampattihi bhavet ityaha shankaraha. So this was spoken by Lord Shiva, him personally. In the great dangers of this worldly existence, whoever remembers Madhusudana, that person's calamities turn into prosperity. Said by Lord Shiva. So the pure devotees, or even the practicing devotees also, right? In the initial stage, it is difficult. It is difficult to consider that the difficulties are are a blessing of Krishna. Okay, it's difficult. It's difficult to consider difficulties as blessings of Krishna. But as we progress in our bhakti, then it becomes easy. Anything that happens, in fact, when we advance in our bhakti, we consider, we don't differentiate between difficulty and happy situation. Happiness and distress will be equal to us. We will not be differentiating between these two. And if there is a difficulty, like let's say a health problem or something like that, then a devotee considers that as a blessing. What is Krishna teaching me through this? So from that purport of 10th and 11th shlokas from 4th chapter, we can learn something. Okay, I have summarized some points here, but before that, there's a beautiful saying in English: quality of one's life depends on the ability to convert adversities into opportunities. To convert adversities into opportunities. See, we have heard this statement many times, right? If people are throwing rocks and stones and pebbles at you, you build a castle out of it. We have heard all these things. But it's not easy. It's easier said than done, right? If somebody is throwing pebbles and stones at you, it is not easy to just build castle out of it. It is not easy to make something meaningful out of it. But it is possible only in connection with Krishna. If we see that adversity is a plan of Krishna, I have a problem in my life and there is Krishna's hand behind it. If we learn to see Krishna's hand behind everything, then we can convert adversities into opportunities. Krishna will empower us. Just like how Gajendra, he did not blame the crocodile. After 1,000 years, he realized that it is nothing but my own fault. And then immediately Krishna empowered him to convert that adversity into opportunity. Krishna gave him the remembrance of bhakti from past life. So how we can convert adversity into opportunity, that is Krishna's job. Krishna will help us. But we need to start thinking in these lines. We need to have conviction that behind everything there is Krishna's hand. So even if there's a difficulty, how can I find this as an opportunity to connect with Krishna, to come closer to Krishna? Every difficulty that comes in our life, remember, we are one step closer to Krishna. So how we can do that, how we can get out of that problem, or how we can convert that problem into an opportunity, that is Krishna's headache. He will figure out and he will empower us. He will guide us. All we have to do is we just need to have faith that behind everything that's happening in my life, both good and bad, there is Krishna's hand behind it. So 5 important lessons from that purport. The first one is everything happens by Krishna's desire. So these are the 5 lessons or 5 essential points that we need to remember and meditate upon when there are reversals in our life. And this is how we can face those adversities or reversals. Okay, so I want somebody to read. Chandrakala, can you read this?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
5 principles to face life's reversals from Prabhupada's purport. Srila Prabhupada outlines 5 essential realizations for devotees encountering difficulties or unfavorable situations. First one, everything happens by Krishna's desire. Explanation, nothing occurs without the Supreme Lord's will. All circumstances are His sweet will. Consider reversals as Krishna's blessings. Challenges are blessings in disguise to advance spiritual progress, not mere misfortunes. Recognize these are results of past deeds. Difficulties are karmic reactions from previous lives, not arbitrary punishments. Krishna gives only a token punishment. The Lord shows mercy by limiting the extent of suffering. Actual deserved reactions are far greater. These circumstances are necessary for purification. Trials are the fastest way to cleanse the heart and return to Krishna.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So the first step is to think that there is Krishna's hand behind everything. Everything is happening by Krishna's desire. Not a blade of grass moves without the will of God. So everything that's happening in our life is happening by Krishna's sanction, his desire. There can be instruments, different instruments are there, different people, different circumstances who are making it happen, but it is Krishna's, it is happening only by Krishna's sanction. I mean, here the wording is little confusing, right? Everything happens by Krishna's desire means what? It is not Krishna's intention to give a problem to us. Krishna's sanction. That wording has to be rephrased a little bit. Everything happens by Krishna's sanction. That means there is an instrumental person, or there is a circumstance that happens in the nature, and that's going to create some situation in our life. But before that situation can happen in our life, Krishna has to sanction that. So everything happens by Krishna's sanction. So we have discussed this in detail in Bhagavad Gita, that there are 3 factors for any action to happen. That is Jiva, Prakriti, and then Ishvara. Only by Ishvara Anugraha anything can happen. If we think we are the doer, that's the wrong thing. So only By Ishvara anything can happen. So that is the first and fundamental understanding anybody should have. Second level is consider reversals as Krishna's blessings. So we have seen from many stories in Bhagavatam, Ramayana, or anywhere, even the Lord's personal life, when he appears as Krishna or when he appears as Rama, Lord has personally demonstrated to us that how everybody goes through reversals in life, and those reversals are blessings. They are blessings in disguise. When Ramachandra was asked to go on exile into the forest, it was a reversal. Lord Rama was to be coronated, and that same day morning, he was asked to go on exile into the forest, and he did not say any word. He did not ask why. He did not ask any question. And what happened? We all saw that because of that exile, because of you know, and also Sitamma went through so many reversals. More than Ramachandra, Sitamma went through so many reversals. But because of all these things, how much Ramachandra and Sitamma are glorified today? For many yugas to come, or for time immemorial, this Ramayana Leela is sung and it's glorified, it is discussed. And Krishna has shown, his birth itself was amidst all these problems and reversals. And as he was growing up, there were so many demons who tried to kill him. So Krishna is personally teaching by his, through his life, he is teaching that everybody must go through these reversals. These are part and parcel of the life. Third thing is recognize these are results of past deeds. So now, in connection with the first point, right? Everything that happens, it must happen only by the will of Paramatma. It happens by the will of Paramatma, but whatever is destined to us according to our karma, Krishna will sanction only that. Whether it is good or bad, anything. Based on our karmic account, whatever is destined to us, whatever is to come to us, Krishna will sanction that. So recognize these are results of our past deeds. That's what Gajendra acknowledged, right? After fighting for 1,000 years, he thought, this is my own mistake. Tattenu kampa susamikshamaano bunjhana eva swayam krutaham. Brahma also says in Brahma Vimohana Leela in Bhagavatam, 10th canto. One day we can discuss that Brahma Vimohana Leela. But during that Brahma Vimohana Leela, Brahma, he commits a mistake in front of Krishna, and he asked for, and he offers he pays an apology. That apology is in the form of prayer in the shlokas. Tattenu kampa susamikshamaano bunjhana eva swayam krutapa. Oh my Lord, this is my swayam kruta. This is my own mistake. Please forgive me. Brahma prays to the Lord. So difficulties are karmic reactions from previous lives, not arbitrary punishments. Now the fourth thing. So even though we are destined to receive certain amount of result because of our past deeds, but Krishna reduces that intensity and he gives only token punishment. Something big, instead of going through something big, Krishna makes us go through a small thing, small problem. The suffering is reduced, the intensity is reduced. Oftentimes we hear this, right? Let's say there is an accident, road accident, and then driver, escapes with fewer injuries. Then after coming home, what do they say? Thank God, by God's mercy, uh, I have escaped with a small problem, with few injuries. Otherwise, I don't know what could have happened. So in fact, we deserve a much bigger punishment. If we look at what we have done in the previous lifetimes, or even in this lifetime, right? If we look at what and all we have done, we actually deserve higher punishment, much severe punishment. But are we going through great problems in life? Do we have a super big calamity? No. There are problems, but small problems. Why? Because Lord has reduced the intensity of our suffering. He has given only token punishment. Only token punishment. So that's the fourth one. And the fifth one is, these circumstances are necessary for purification. And in fact, these are the fastest way to purify our heart and return to Krishna. If these reversals are not there in our life, what will happen? If the reversals are not there in our life,
again we put into the Janma Karma Chakra.
Then we think material world is good. Life is good here. Life is good. Does anyone have LG TV here? Huh?
Ours is LV.
LG,
Liquid
yeah?
gold. Liquid
LG,
gold.
yeah? Do you know the full form of LG TV? Or LG refrigerator or whatever you have in your home?
In their advertisement,
మా
it is
ఇంట్లో
there
ఉంది
for
శ్రీనివాస్ గారు.
liquid gold.
Siri meetlo unda. That means life is good. The
Yeah.
company, LG company, it stands for life is good. Okay, so that's what we will think. If there are no problems in life, we will think, oh, life in material world is good. If a prisoner in the jail, if he is provided with all royal comforts, he will think that oh, life is good here. I don't need to go out. I'm happy here. I don't need to go out. It is true that he's happy there, but what is he missing?
Freedom.
He's missing freedom. He's missing out much more happiness. In the jail, whatever comforts he's getting, right? It's only within those four walls. But when he comes out, there's a freedom. He can go wherever he wants. He can enjoy the nature. He can go to Trikuta Parvat. He can spend time with family members, friends, everybody. So there is much he deserves much more happiness. But now he is restraining himself between those four walls, thinking that life is good. I mean, in the jail, if they give a TV and the TV brand is LG TV, that's what he will think. Life is good. Life is good. So, but we deserve much, much more happiness, greater happiness. So that's why these reversals are the fastest way to purify our heart and go back to Krishna. That's why Gajendra, Indradumna Maharaj, in the previous life, he accepted Agastya Muni's curse very happily, thinking that this is the fastest way for me to get purified. Otherwise, Indradumna Maharaj would have taken so many births. So that's the fifth lesson.
So, Prabhuji, we should consider when we are having difficulties that we are getting more purified.
Yes. Yes.
Like
Absolutely.
sometimes we
Absolutely.
put so much emphasis on thinking that problem is only like at the level of our own thinking. It is not common, like the issues which people think it's a big one, but we keep thinking mentally. So probably it's the way we are getting more purified, even if it is, or we should be able to distinguish, and then it's the prayers which helps us more.
So there are two things, right? For the general mass who are not connected with God, who don't practice bhakti, for them, a problem does not act as a purificatory process. A problem for the general mass of people, it it makes them frustrated. It disturbs them. It makes them agitated. It makes them lose hope in life. So they think there's no meaning to the life. But only devotees, okay, only and for the general mass of people, when there are problems, they commit mistakes. They find some shortcuts to get around those problems. They commit mistakes. They engage in criminal activities. In fact, they downgrade further. For the general mass, a problem makes them downgrade even further.
Okay.
Whereas for devotees, a problem rises them up.
So means if for any person, like if we are generally speaking also, if that's what, like if their concentration towards devotion increases more, so
Yes.
that is kind of, even for a naive person who's new, so that is kind of better than just procrastinating and living in that same kind of world and trying to do wrong things or being a more unstable. Instead of that, it is better to heal for everyone through prayers.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, probably I will understand.
Prabhuji, I would like to add one more point.
Yes.
Today you are giving many inputs, insights, referrals and all these things. Only in general, in our life, in our society also, only we think positive things are the valuable. But in my school days, our English teacher, still I remember her name, J.D. Santosham. She always giving the quotations. Still that quotation is in my mind. If you think the sad things or the negative things also is also valuable. When you think deeply, that also change your world. She always give a beautiful quotation. A value is a value only when the value of the value is valuable.
A
Still, it is
value is a value only when the value of value is valuable. Okay, very nice. Very nice.
When you say the Brahma Vimochan Leela, he has repented. What he repented? What he has done the mistake, repented. When he noticed the value of the repentance, then only repentance comes and he prayed the Krishna.
Yeah.
So it is aptly share this information with all the persons. God has given me a memory.
Very good. That's a good point. I'm glad, I appreciate your sharp memory. You're able to remember the quotation also, and very nice. Thank you for sharing that.
In most of the books, in my dictionary also, I written, a value is value only when the value is valuable.
Yeah.
Right.
Correct. Yeah. Only a person understands the value of that situation, the value of the difficulty. Okay. If we consider the difficulty as a blessing, then we will know the value of the valuable thing. So, otherwise, just like the general mass of people, we will commit more mistakes. See, we are already facing a problem because of past mistakes. And if
Like
there's
getting
no,
angry is a kind of we are degrading ourselves more. If we get
yes,
angry, if we get
correct.
frustrated, so that is all a part of getting more stepping back, actually.
Yes, yeah, downgrading, degrading further.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
A very basic term in school we used to say, right, that failure is a stepping stone to success.
yeah. Failure is a stepping stone to success. But the general statement,
So maybe when we
it can,
understand from the failure that how to
Yeah.
get better.
Yeah, it's a
yeah,
very small statement, not that great sentence, but I'm just saying from school we used to learn like that.
yes,
Yeah, right.
We understand the depth, the deeper meaning of it is actually.
The understanding, correcting yourself from those failures.
yeah. So that can help us in material life, so that person can work harder and they can progress better in material life. But in the spiritual life, uh, a failure is not only a stepping stone to success, but it is a blessing
Yeah.
for us to get connected to Krishna.
Right.
Yeah, it is not. It is much more beyond than just success. It is a blessing. It's a great blessing to connect with Krishna. That's what Kunti Maharani prayed. Vipada santuta shashvat tatra tatra jagat guru bhavato darshanam yatsyad apunar bhava. Oh Krishna, please give me difficulties so that I can always remember you.
Surdas also, Prabhuji gave the example. He removed his eyes back. He did not want those to see anything in the future.
Yes, Surdasa also. Yeah. Yeah.
Even Gajendra also liberated because of this tough situation only, no?
Yes. Yeah.
Otherwise, he will continue for more years, like Gajendra.
Yeah. Yeah. Indradumna Maharaj, he would have continued. He would have taken birth for a few more lifetimes.
But Prabhuji, I have a question. When in like not regular life, when we meet people, we see some people who, even when we see some who are aged now, when they tell their life experiences, some people will continue facing problems, and people want to have solution in that same lifetime, and unless otherwise they feel that probably God is not that kind to them. So since their problems never ended, like they will tell their past stories from so many ages, so sometimes like probably the facts are not clear among people, and we are, I don't know, this is all how the life has become so complicated. People want rectification and similar happiness of a standard level, as some levels are being created, and which keeps taking people away from devotion. Instead they keep praying, but they keep feeling also the similar thing, that probably even if done so many efforts, we are not. I'm like I feel that some people will feel that results should be there the same life and they get it, otherwise they are not satisfied sometimes.
But what they are not understanding is, they are not understanding two things. One is, whatever they are going through in their life,
Mhm.
Krishna has already reduced the
Yeah,
severity.
that statement actually gave me a very deep meaning that he's
Yeah,
reduced. We don't come to know though. That's what we are thinking on a very different level. No, as a in-depth life is not thinking these meanings.
yeah. See, their complaint is, oh, God is not helping us solve these problems. But God has already helped you reduce the severity. Instead of 100x, God has reduced it to 2x. He has already helped 98%. He has already helped.
Right.
See, if we make a list, if God shows us, or if the Chitragupta shows us our account, huh, we
Correct.
we will go mad. We will commit suicide actually. Oh, am I this person who committed all these criminal activities in the previous lifetime?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
people don't realize this.
Finally,
People don't
yeah, we
realize
cannot
this.
even say yes that we did all that.
Yeah, they don't realize this.
Mm.
They don't realize that God has already reduced our severity and is only giving token punishment.
Mm.
That is
Right.
one thing they don't understand. Second thing is, as you said, right? People expect problems to be solved in this lifetime itself.
Mm.
But what are they doing? What are they doing? Are they leading an ideal life according to the Shastras? Are they leading a good citizen life according to the Shastra? According to Manusmriti, are they following the good, moral
Prabhu,
conduct?
yeah, that is very correct point. Actually, that's the reason, like, I am very, you can say, just a regular person, not to just starting on the path of devotion.
Hmm.
I feel that the education system of ours didn't give us that visualization of efforts. Like, probably in our culture had so much of belief in prayers and doing things,
Hmm.
but still it has not connected to us in that way. When you say this, I feel that's how I felt the realization of giving my kids, at least I'm starting them with the education in the temple, what we are getting here. So I just feel that at least some belief factors should become strong from that young age, where they can grow, build thinking like this. Because otherwise, we are lost and we are being provided so many options and things in life. Where if we have not concrete base on this kind of thinking, which is based on our Sanskriti as well as our all this granths and everything, it is a very superficial life we are giving to our kids, ourselves, leading just running around things. The deeper meaning we don't understand. That's how anger, frustration, all these problems.
Yeah.